Welcome to Clarity Mind. Today, we explore one of life's most profound and universal questions. What happens after death? Through the timeless teachings of Buddhism, we will journey into the realms of consciousness, karma, rebirth, and ultimate liberation. For the next minutes, we will guide you through an immersive reflection rooted in ancient wisdom, supported by modern insight, and delivered with care and clarity. Whether you are curious, grieving, seeking spiritual guidance, or contemplating your own life's journey, this exploration is for you. Let's begin by centering ourselves. Chapter 1. The Buddhist View of Death. In the Buddhist tradition, death is not viewed as the end of existence, but as a natural transformation, one part of a continuous cycle. This cycle is known as samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, powered by karma and fueled by ignorance and attachment. Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent, anicca. All things that arise, including our physical form and mental states, are subject to decay and dissolution. Death, then, is not an event to be feared, but a reality to be understood. The body ceases to function, but the stream of consciousness, our mental continuum, moves on, shaped by the habits, actions, and intentions formed during life. Early Buddhist texts describe death not as a punishment or an escape, but as a transition. In Theravada Buddhism, practitioners are encouraged to reflect on Maranasati, the mindfulness of death. This practice is not morbid, but illuminating. It brings awareness to the reality that life is short and uncertain, and that we must live with compassion and wisdom while we can. Monks in Sri Lanka and Thailand often meditate in cemeteries, contemplating the decay of the body. Tibetan practitioners visualize their own death to dissolve ego and attachment. Across traditions, the message is the same. Understanding death allows us to live more fully and awaken to the truth of existence. Chapter 2. Karma and the Mechanics of Rebirth. The principle of karma is central to the Buddhist understanding of what happens after death. Karma means action, intentional acts of body, speech, and mind that generate results, both in this life and beyond. These karmic imprints, or seeds, influence the process of rebirth. When one dies, the accumulated karma from countless lives interacts with the mental state at the moment of death, propelling consciousness toward a new birth. According to the Abhidhamma, the moment of death is crucial. The last thought of a person can carry immense karmic weight, influencing the destination of the next rebirth. Buddhist texts describe how this thought arises from one's deepest mental tendencies and habitual patterns. This is why the cultivation of a peaceful mind, grounded in compassion and mindfulness, is so emphasized in Buddhist practice. The cycle of rebirth spans 6 realms in traditional Buddhist cosmology: the realms of gods, demigods, humans, animals, hungry ghosts, and hell beings. These realms are not just external worlds, but symbolic of psychological and spiritual states. A mind filled with hatred might be drawn toward a hell realm. A mind full of generosity and awareness might return as a human or ascend to a heavenly state. Many Buddhist cultures preserve stories of people who remember their past lives. In Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Tibet, such accounts are collected and studied. These are not meant to serve as proof, but as reflection on the continuity of consciousness and the weight of our every action. To live ethically, to speak truthfully, and to think with loving kindness These are not just moral ideals, but essential practices for ensuring a peaceful transition when the time of death arrives. Chapter 3. The Bardo and Tibetan Perspectives on Death. In Tibetan Buddhism, the teachings on death are deeply developed and vividly articulated in the text known as the Bardo Thodol, or the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Bardo means in between. The Bardo teachings describe the intermediate state that exists between death and rebirth. According to these teachings, after death, the individual enters the Chikai Bardo, where they encounter the clear light of reality, the pure, unconditioned mind. If one has practiced meditation and can recognize this light, there is a chance for immediate liberation. If not, the consciousness moves into the Shuingi Bardo, where it encounters various peaceful and wrathful deities. These appearances are not external gods, but manifestations of the mind's own karmic patterns and projections. Finally, the individual passes through the Sidpa Bardo, where karmic winds push the consciousness toward a new birth. The process can be overwhelming, but with spiritual guidance, mindfulness, and merit from past actions, it is possible to navigate the Bardo with clarity. In Tibet, monks perform rituals for the dying and the deceased. These include chanting mantras, visualizations, and offering practices meant to guide the consciousness and create conditions for a favorable rebirth. Families may keep the body undisturbed for days, allowing the consciousness to fully depart. The Bardo teachings are not only for the dying, but for the living. They remind us that life itself is a Bardo, a state of transition, and that every moment offers a chance for awakening. The presence of awareness, even for a few moments in the Bardo, can make a profound difference. This is why Tibetan Buddhists place so much importance on the dying process, not as a medical event, but as a sacred moment of transition. Chapter 4. Enlightenment and Death of the Realized Ones. For the enlightened being, death holds no fear. Such a person, having seen through the illusions of self and permanence, no longer clings to form, identity, or life itself. Death is simply another appearance in the dream of samsara. The Buddha himself demonstrated this at the time of his parinirvana. Knowing his time had come, he lay down between two soul trees and addressed his disciples with serene composure. His final words were, "All conditioned things are subject to decay. Strive on with diligence." He passed away without fear or confusion, in a state of full awareness. Great teachers throughout Buddhist history have followed this path. Zen masters, Tibetan lamas, and Theravada monks have passed away in meditation, sometimes remaining in a state of meditative absorption, even after clinical death. In Tibetan Buddhism, this is known as Thukdam, and it is observed when the body does not decay for days, suggesting that the consciousness is still present in deep meditation. The death of a realized being is a powerful teaching. It shows us that the goal of practice is not to escape death, but to meet it with full presence, free from fear and with complete understanding. Such a death is not an end, but a completion, a return to the unconditioned. Chapter 5. Living mindfully, dying peacefully. The path to a good death begins long before the final breath. In Buddhism, every moment is an opportunity to prepare not out of fear, but out of clarity. By cultivating the qualities of mindfulness, compassion, and insight, we prepare ourselves for whatever comes, including death. Maranasati practice, mindfulness of death, is a cornerstone in this preparation. In meditation, practitioners reflect on the uncertainty of life and the certainty of death. This contemplation sharpens the mind and deepens gratitude. It breaks the illusion of invincibility and invites us to let go of trivial concerns. Ethical living, sila, is another essential foundation. When we live with honesty, kindness, and non-harming, we reduce regret and strengthen inner peace. Generosity, dana, and meditation, bhavana, further refine the heart and mind. In Buddhist cultures, people perform rituals and acts of merit on behalf of the deceased, offering food to monks, reciting sutras, releasing animals into freedom. These actions are done to transfer positive energy to loved ones who have passed, aiding their rebirth. To die peacefully, one must live mindfully. Buddhism does not guarantee an escape from suffering, but it offers the tools to meet life and death with wisdom, courage, and serenity. Death is not the end of the path. It is a mirror, a teacher, a doorway. Through the Buddhist perspective, we come to see that life and death are woven into one fabric of being. To live fully is to be unafraid of death. To understand death is to awaken to life. As we conclude this journey, let us pause and reflect. Death, through the Buddhist lens, is not the end but a doorway. Whether we pass through it in confusion or clarity depends on how we live now. Let the teachings you've heard today inspire you to live more mindfully, more compassionately, and with a deeper sense of peace. And remember, as the Buddha said, of all footprints, that of the elephant is supreme. Of all mindfulness practices, mindfulness of death is supreme. May this exploration offer you comfort, clarity, and courage. May it inspire you to practice with sincerity, to live with awareness, and to meet each moment, this one and the last, with an open heart. Thank you for joining us here at Clarity Mind. If this video resonated with you, please subscribe, share, and explore more of our meditative journeys. Until next time, may all beings be free, may all beings be at peace.